I'm going to quickly open a bit. Oh, here we go. Good evening, sir. Oh, look at that. Posh.
Well, hello.
Hello, sir. Cheers, mate. Have a little sip. Cheers.
What?
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, every booby. What's happening? Oh, how are you, mate?
All right. I literally, I've just genuinely opened this beer as well. So, good timing.
Nice.
Yeah, well, you're good?
Yeah, man. Literally just obviously packing for the holiday. So I've just this second, mate, wolfed down like 12 fucking red hot wings and a mac and cheese. So I am stuffed, mate. I'll be asleep in about 10 minutes. Absolutely. Other than that, mate, no, we're all good. We're all gravy, baby.
Good stuff. I must admit, I'm still a little bit tender. I've never ever come away from Airsoft over a weekend ever in my life so bruised. I don't know if I'm getting a bit soft where I'm getting old. I don't know what.
A bit soft and spongy.
Honestly, mate, I am caked like head to toe in like the size of that.
Yeah, I've got some yellow ones. Got some yellow ones up here.
Yeah, caked in them.
But yeah, I've not been to somewhere that's I've come away like with actual holes in me for a long time. I'm talking back like 1HQ. I think we was talking about Bexley Labs, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Back.
Long time ago.
Wow, everyone's in here, all of them. Bulldozer's in here, Mondo's in here, early doors, yes. Mr. Gaines, what's happening? Wesley Van Beest. Mike Marden.
People are hitting up the new emojis. They've seen this stuff already. You can't get anything past these. You can't
Love
get
it.
anything past them.
Love it.
We've got the MP7 in there. We've got a secret one, which some guys might know about, some guys might not. And then we've got some others up in there. The Daggers logo from the new.
Look at that. He's even got an MP7 in there as well. I like it, mate. Nice.
Well, before we get into any detail, it plays a very big part in this weekend's events.
Yeah, absolutely.
Me, especially, obviously running Saturday and Sunday, but we both run out MP7s this weekend. Hold on a minute. We've got some news to show. Welcome along, Robson. You have a new member. Welcome, sir.
Yes.
Welcome.
Willkommen, bienvenue. Welcome to the fold, sir. It's nice to have you inside.
There you go.
Yeah.
You now have emojis to use as you wish.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, where were we this weekend, my friend? I know you booked it super late, so thanks, Dad, for booking that for me and getting me on.
Welcome. So, right, long story short, so obviously Echelon Airsoft had been on my radar for about 2 years now. I bumped into the guys. Obviously, I saw it on Facebook. They were looking at getting a school somewhere over on the Isle of Sheppey, I think it was, as a CQB. So I was like, right, well, one, that's my old stomping ground. Two, CQB in an old school, yes, please, because I used to play in an old school up at AWA Hearts. I had a school up there. It's wicked, mate. It was well good. So it was a hospital. It was hospital, not a school, hospital. It was Belting. That's where I first started doing my CQB stuff. Anyway, bumped into the guys at Platoon stores about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. They had all these plans, and as it was, they just had a run of bad luck, got let down with site after site after site. Nothing came of it, and they just sort of went, whew, do you know what I mean? Just sort of went under the radar for quite some time. But anyway, they popped back up on Facebook with a new site down in Gravesend. So I kept an eye on it, and lo and behold, it did open. They had their opening night on a Wednesday night, and for about 2 weeks now, I've been meaning to get down to do Wednesday nights, Saturdays, Sundays. Just couldn't do it, mate. So, with work and everything, just so busy. So somehow, between us, we managed to sort of get some free time, right? And arranged to head down there. So, yeah, got that booked up. Yeah, super reasonable. What was it, like 35 quid, was it? Something like that?
I think it's 35 quid. I to be honest, I just remember you messaging me a screenshot saying you're booked.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It's tomorrow. We're going. It's booked. Let's do this.
Yeah, literally pack the bare minimum. Let's turn up. So yeah, that was all good. So booked on. Had a nice float down, pretty not that far from me. I know it's not too bad for yourself either, is it? Really?
No, it took me just over an hour. But I must admit, that's the old Google thing where it comes in with all the traffic. And I actually hoofed down there pretty quick first thing in the morning. As in breakfast, I got there a bit early, enough time just to scope out the area, because it doesn't have dedicated parking. It's not like most sites that you go to where you like park somewhere off the radar, like, do you know what I mean, in the middle of nowhere. This is in the middle of fucking Gravesend. It's like literally in the middle of the town. So I did have to scope out a little bit on the parking. They do give some advice on their website, which is pretty good. You've got the railway station, which is opposite, all CCTV covered, although you do have to pay for the day, but it was only £4. So that isn't bad. There is a multi-story above it and around it, as to how some of it works. Richie wouldn't have got in there, so we chose to park outside. But there is a few like alternatives for parking, although most of them are paid, and again, it is right in the middle of town.
Yeah, so it is literally, when we say smack in the middle of town, just to put for those of you that don't know, aren't aware, it's an old Debenhams, right? It's an old shopping, like small, like shop, clothes shop. Debenhams was a clothes shop, right? Homeware store, whatever it is, it's a shop. Anyway, so yeah, it's smack in the middle of town. Yeah. So yeah, parking. So if you've got a regular car, regular height, multi-story, ton of parking, not an issue. One thing they did say on the website is, obviously, because it's in the middle of town, all your kit, that's lids, rigs, everything, just put it in a black bag. All you got to do is, you can still carry it in, but obviously think about it, guys. You're in a town centre, everything has to be covered up.
So James, the owner, was really cool. Really nice to have a good gas with him and get some time with him on the day. He did talk about someone that rolled over from the station car park with their gun slung hanging in front of them, full plate carrier lid, like literally dressed to walk into the game site, and we walked across from the station towards the site. And obviously the CCTV picked it up. The police were called. The police then called James and said, "Look, you need to get this guy off the streets." And into the site double quick, and obviously we can't have that happening again. Just for the cause of concern, as you can imagine, you're rolling through Boots and you come out the middle of the high street, and there's some guy dressed for the Armageddon. General for most people, it's going to shit them up, right? So totally get that, and that's something to be aware of, guys. If you are used to bouncing over to sites and getting ready out your boot and turning up 90% ready, I'd advise against it. I think in this case, take your gun box, your gun bags, keep everything bagged up, go there pretty civvy, go in and get changed.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously, I know, Tim, you done the Saturday and the Sunday, right? Because I was this close to coming Sunday, this close, but couldn't do it.
I rolled out to my spiritual homeland, that is Splatoon, on the Sunday. I know the Task Force Bravo guys were going, so I wanted to get out there, roll out with those little whippersnappers. There's a separate thing to talk about that Sunday after this, because that was a really fun day. I think there's a few good points to hit on, and some questions that I want to hit you with. Everyone that's here watching right now, hit you with those questions, and also hit Richie with some of those questions as well. But for the people in the comments that have rocked up a little bit late, shame on you. Don't be late to class again. We're talking about Echelon Airsoft. They've got a old Debenhams, disused Debenhams site in Gravesend.
Yeah, so
Pete's here. Thank you. Hi, Pete. How are you? Welcome, sir. Honorary member.
Yes. Who else is in here? Who else has joined late? Come on, hands up. Sam Brooks, he's late. But it's right, we'll let him off. We'll let him off because he's one of my favourites. We'll let him off.
Chloe's not one of my favourites though, because she's terrible, bad player.
Listen, he says that about everyone.
Sorry, Chloe.
So CQB site in Gravesend, an old Debenhams. Now it's only been open 2 weeks, so we was expecting some teething problems, and the site to be a bit sparse and a bit, and a bit sort of bare. But you know what? We walked in and it was hot, wasn't it? It was red hot. But the guys had fans, big fans, got industrial fans in the ceiling, on the walls, everything. Yeah. I was like, this is nice. This is nice and chilled, literally, pardon the pun. But yeah, we bowled in there. They had a nice little shop counter with some snacks and drinks. Platoon stores was there with a nice little display and a full rack of guns and BBs and pyro and stuff. So yeah, they were well set up, like nice little setup. To be fair, I mean, as it was, we were right. Well, I think we had pretty much stuff covered, right? Because we were traveling light at this point. It was MP7s, bangs, and that was it, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Lids and nods. I mean, again, I managed to get everything in a duffel bag, like sports bag, and you know, me and Richie end up sending a photo, like, mate, I'm all packed, ready to go. It was a gun box with a bag on top and a lid and his rig rather, and then I just sent him a picture of what I had on the floor. So yeah, we ended up going and rolling down there pretty light. Again, I really like that setup. I know they are working on making the safe zone bigger, but I really liked it. You roll in, you've got a nice store there, you've got a counter. Again, like you say, BBs, bits and bobs that people are going to need, and loads of space. You know, what they've done is like a bit like the same sort of height as this, almost like a chest high table for you to put your stuff on. You've got storage underneath. You've got a couple of chairs and stuff dotted around for the people that need to have a sit down and get their breath back. But yeah, it was all whose knees and back, arms, ankles, and necks hurt.
I told you, mate, everything for the waist up.
Yeah. So, I mean, I liked it. I think, you know, it gave quite a nice vibe. It was quite dark in there. I know maybe that's like the scene they tried to set to make it a little bit like grungy, but I did notice like a couple of times where, especially where me and you were changing out batteries, doing bits and bobs, I was like, fucking hell. Like, I was like, Richie, you got a light.
Yeah.
Could barely see. So I think other than that, the safe zone's pretty cool. It's quite accommodating considering, you know, you're not parking and working out your car.
No. So we basically, as we did, we were kitting up, obviously went through just, you know, a nice, you know, stress-free, you know, gaggle fuck-free chrono. Through, chronoed your main, primary, chronoed your pistol. You literally went left, grabbed your armband, off you fucked. Mate, no stress like that. I love that. Just boom, 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 done. Do you know what I mean? So did that, sailed through the chrono, surprisingly, because it wasn't Anzio. So then we obviously then had the safety brief, which again was, you know, pretty straightforward. You know, it was all the basic stuff, but it was to the point and nice and short as well. Wasn't drawn out. It was the real base rules. And to be fair, I don't think we had any issues, did we really? Or as far as like everyone knew this basic. So safety brief was done. We pushed out, got on the game floor, and as soon as you walk through, obviously your safety sort of like curtains, obviously to stop any stray BBs coming through in the safe zone. Walk through. As soon as you walked out, I was like, wow, it's nice and light in this section, which is obviously the painted windows that go out into the high street. Yeah. So although you can't see anything, it's still quite light. And you just turn left, and it just gets darker and darker and darker as you look further into the site. I know the guys on site were saying, yeah, you know, we're looking at changing this, we're going to move some of this stuff around. But, and I think me and you, Tim, we were on the same wavelength as this. You know, they've obviously still got a lot of the like display trolleys and stuff. So it's like, what would you call them? Like shelving units, right, on wheels.
Yeah, I guess like a dolly, isn't they? Like I don't know. I know what you mean, but yeah.
But yeah, ton of this stuff dotted around, and I thought it was awesome, mate. You know, really varied cover, varied heights, varied sizes. There was none of this like, oh, there's a pallet here, bolted to another pallet here. You know, it's a real diverse cover, which was good. So yeah, first game was just a team elimination, right? Wasn't it? It was just a red v blue till the time ran out.
Yeah, they do like an attrition of lives, which is quite cool.
That's
so each team, I think, had like 50 lives each. And as you go back to the safe zone, the guys get a clicker as you come in and out. And it's the first team to burn through their lives. I guess a bit like Battlefield or something like that, where you have tickets. I quite liked it, I must admit. Like, for me, the scale of the site is good, but also the way that the things are spread out. And I don't think, personally, that this is something they've engineered. I think this is like just by fluke that you have some bits of cover that are quite close together, and then you've got other bits of cover that are fucking like really spread apart. So you might like be able to quickly duck in behind something, but actually the next piece that you're going to go to might be 10-meter sprint. It might be a 15-meter sprint. So Yeah, it was really decent. And I like that, like you said, dynamic cover. You've got old counters, makeup counters, product counters, and those sorts of things. And then you might have a bit of plywood or a bit of a plasterboard. And then you might go to a trolley, or you might go to an old spinning shelving unit, and then you might go to something else. So it like allows you to really move about, but you need to almost like be a little bit strategic to say, right, I'm going to go there. And if I go there, I've only really got like 2 viable options. And then you need to look at all the arcs of fire. There's a few ramps and, shielded off bits. It was fun. Like that first game was really, really fun. Go on, mate. Go on.
Yeah, no, I just, obviously myself and Tim have never been there before. We had no idea, other than sort of what we were standing at the start point, looking out onto the site, like, it was so dark you couldn't see past maybe 30 meters, 30 foot, maybe 30 foot. Because it all just sort of went down on obviously little corridors and stuff and whatever. So we didn't know what we were going to be coming into. So for me, what was really exciting was so just set the scene. So Tim's got his MP7, I've got my MP7. Big difference. He's got his stock out, like literally pressed in. I think I had my stock folded and I've got it like here up against my fucking nose like this. So I just moving like that with the MP7. Yeah, really, I enjoyed it, mate. Like literally getting off the line, just running down and just like moving quickly from cover to cover and like that trying to get your brain going like, right, where's this cover? Where's that? Where's an angle? Like where can I get shot from? That thinking all the time. Yeah, it was exciting, man. Really exciting. So yeah, we pushed out. First game on, I think I went far right. I think the first bit that stuck out for me was there was a lad on the other team, and I managed to duck around this right hand side, which basically, so I'm now perpendicular to the site. All I've seen is like the barrel and then this much of his hand. And he's had a go. He's had a pop at his own team because they obviously like got the torch on, like white lighting in massive silhouette. He's like, all right, you have to white light your own team. Clack. And you see him just go,
as soon as I pushed up, mate, I think something for me become like almost immediately apparent that there could be some issues is with like the fact that there was going to be blue on blue. I could feel it. Like that static in the air, because at the end of the day, the site is so tight and it lends to players pushing forward. I had my first life, so push out. For example, they've pushed up 50%, we've pushed up 50%. We're on that kind of middle ground. As I've died at that like 50%, 55%, if we begin to creep forward, I've gone back to the regen area and come back, and there is players that are still like, fucking 5 meters from the flag, 6 meters from the flag.
Yeah.
Trying to lob these rounds in on people. And it's so tight there and so diverse where you only see snippets of people. I just had that feeling of like, this is going to get to a point where it's a bit choppy. And that was my initial concern, is that, you kind of want everyone to drive up together so that you've got that cohesion moving forward and you're less likely to get clapped from someone who's, beginning to move forward behind. And then also once you move off that baseline, you run back and then come back to that baseline. So it allows everyone to continually move forward. When I went back and saw people still hanging around the fob spawn area, putting rounds out, I was like, I'm likely to get shot in the back here. Lo and behold.
Yeah. I mean, we literally, that was a big issue, right? We were, because of the way the site is, because there's so many different angles to cut, and when we finally sort of got a grip of how the ground floor was laid out, obviously this is over 3 floors, guys, so those of you who didn't know, there isn't just 1 floor. You could see that you could quite easily, like I say, run perpendicular to the site. So there was an issue if, although technically if you're facing the semi right direction, you'd like to think your team wouldn't light you up, but that was not to be the case. But obviously I know me and you, we were darting around, we were commenting to each other, our last location, yep, I'm here, I'm covering this side, I'm going to go here, this side's a bit sort of quite heavy for op 4, so struggling to push on this side, let's try the left or something. But you, like you say, mate, every time we went back, there were just people, just players, just sat there, like sat back, you know, with a drum mag and a pistol, like putting single rounds down, you know, from right at the back. So yeah, it was a worrying thing. And like I say, lo and behold, mate, I think I was either going to the spawn or coming back, and I just heard whack, you know, and hear it off a plate carrier, like thud. I was like, oh, that was close. And I've heard you shout hit, and straight away I knew. Fucking.
Yeah, essentially I'd worked, so there was like an L-shaped corner. I'm going to try and do this in front of the camera. There was like an L-shape like this, and I'd come round it and was fighting from the front, and this guy's come round from behind and just got to this point where that's what that bruise from under there is from. So I'm almost like this, leaning round the cover, and as he's come round, he's got me on my right side. I've got this like walloping bruise underneath there.
Tattoo.
That's literally from where he's come round, gone whack, and I was like, mate, like you can literally see all of the back of me. How the fuck have you just like, you know, one, I've got a bright red armband on my right arm, so you can literally see it as, you know, he's standing behind me. And then also for the fact that he's taken so long to take the shot, he's leant round and then gone whack. Do you know what I mean? It's not like he's just snapshotted off the corner. Yeah. I was pissed, you know, because I think things like that if it's a long shot, if it's someone dynamically moving, I can sort of get it. But this guy's, you know, walked up behind me, seen that I'm actually facing away from him, and then still taking the shot. And I think it was the same guy that frags me later on in the day. I'm pretty sure it is. So I think more frustratingly, you know, we had a team of individuals that were either very relaxed and sat at the back and wanted to sort of plink with a pistol from God knows how far away, or a team that really wasn't focused on, I don't know, like PIDing targets, playing at pace, sort of taking in and being aware of their surroundings. And I think that's the only thing that might frustrate people, is that depending on the type of character you are, you're not going to have that archetypal group of players that are all exactly the same. Like, you are going to get a mixed bag there massively at all times. And I don't think that's anything the site owners can deal with, but that may cause frustration for people that are going there and want to sort of get fucking stuck in. It's tough, that. It's tough. Oh, we've lost Richie. I'm just going to go through some of the comments while we're waiting for Richie to rejoin. I'm not sure what he's done. Jolly Green J-Tac, what's up, dude? Steam Dumb, what's up? Yes. I hate it takes 2 seconds to check for an armband. Yeah, Steam Dumb, absolutely. He was too elite for me, absolutely. That's just like any skirmish day, though. Richie, what's up, dude?
Sorry, mate. Audio went to absolute shit, so I had to bounce and reset. But apologies, guys. We are back. We are back.
Yeah, I think you're right. That is like any skirmish day. Absolutely. I think what you can do is like set a precedent for everyone throughout the day of like really just, you know, even just forcing and enforcing that message into people and say, guys, like, be aware of the surroundings. Like, take in the players that you've got around you now. Like, draw some familiarity with the people that you've got standing around you, so that you don't have these fucking engagements. Like, I get it; it's easy to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I mean, like, how many? I mean, I don't know how many people like we've got watching, or how many people in the chat, right?
70.
So just give a little thumbs up emoji or something, right? For those of you that do this, because I know I do it. I know Tim does it. When you're standing there at either the game brief, safety brief, or chrono, I'm looking around at who's on my team and who isn't.
Yeah.
One, you're sizing up the opposition. Two, you're seeing who you really fucking hate and who's going to actually who's going to get clapped in the face.
Who's going to get the daggers?
But also, like, you know, like I say, you want to soak up. You want to look, see, like, right, who's on my team? Like, get a rough idea in your head of who's on your team, because, oh yeah, you know, that guy's in multicam, that guy's in ATAX, this guy's got a black lead, blah blah whatever. You get a rough idea for who's on your team, right? So if you do that, just stick a thumbs up or an emoji in there, because I know I do it, Tim does it, and it pays off so well. And the more games you do in that day, by the end of the day, you'll pretty much know everyone on your team by sight, not by name, but by sight. And all it takes is, like, you know, like you say, if you cut a corner, you know, a quick. Oh no, I've seen him before. He was on my team. I've seen him at the respawn, or I've seen him defending the same thing I was. You know, and then you just come. You know, you're off the trigger. So But this is where it gets difficult, right? I mean, you've had this conversation for about 3 days now,
Yeah.
where, you know, I do this, you do this. By the looks of it, a lot of guys in the chat and girls do it, right? Okay. So, but so many people don't, in the fact that, you know, this is why we got blue on blue. So Tim had it, like, almost at point blank range. At one point, twice, which we'll see, the second one we'll see later in a bit. But
Yeah.
I am, you know, we would push right back to our spawn at one point. So I managed to push through. Again, they were just putting rounds down from the spawn. And I've come right, I've got on the back of this player, gone, right, what's going on? Well, there's a guy there, he's got us pinned. I've literally just gone, cat, like that. That's how you do it. And then cracked on. And then next cover, keep pushing, next cover. And I've worked right the way around to about halfway up the site now. So now we're halfway up the site. But in fact, all I've done is I've just, you know, I've created more problems for myself, because I'm now at this sort of threshold, like it's like almost like a big sort of doorway heading to the other half of the site. Completely out of rounds. I'm down to my pistol, so I'm sort of, you know, facing like this way. So I've got my left arm on show, back to my spawn. Managed to cop a geezer in the doorway. Anyway, just start taking a ton of rounds, like all around here. Like I thought, it's all right. It's a friendly player. He's got, like, my armband's on show to him.
Yeah.
He's got his torch on. He's going to see it in a minute and realise that I'm friendly. Absolutely fucking not. He split my nose here. I've got a welt there. And yeah, I lost the fucking shit.
Yeah, I know you were
I went over to him. I was like, I'm fucking on your team. Oh, sorry. I was like, mate, I've got my red armband. In fact, I couldn't see. Well, then why are you shooting? If you can't see what team I'm on, why are you shooting? Why are you pulling the trigger? I said, I'm even facing the same way you're facing. How has this even happened? How has this situation even occurred? Anyway, so I had a meltdown. I think Tim had a meltdown. But it all boils down to people just not being switched on enough.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is where it kind of comes down to the whole elite thing, right? Because, oh, it's just a skirmish day, so people go there for fun. Fine, you might go there for fun. I don't. We go there to win.
I'm going there to slap up. That's you know, maybe that's the difference. I mean, it's funny you say that, actually, because I had this conversation with a few, and I've had it with lots of different players. Like in this chat, out of, you know, some of these guys, I think I spoke to about 10 of these people throughout the last couple of days. Robson, I've been on the phone to. Stephen Dunn, I was talking to earlier. I was on the phone to Brooksy today. Like, I've gassed with a lot of these players, and we talk about Airsoft a lot. We talk about the composure and the ethics and the things that we get involved in. Like, and we were talking about Splatoon specifically. Like, I went there on my own. I rocked up. I went there with the attitude of, like, I think I said to Richie that I was really zen on the way driving up there, super relaxed. I didn't feel anxious about going. Like, there was no fucking hesitance. Nothing. I was just going to let all the demons out, you know, to just to be able to go full bore. And I felt the same with Echelon. I'm just going there with the expectation of just letting loose. And for me, that is pressing up, being at the front, and getting stuck in. And we knew that there was a big contingent of players. Now, for all the people that are watching right now, one, thank you obviously for checking in. We do have gameplay footage to show you that will be released on Friday.
Yeah, boy.
So for you guys that are checking in now, you will get to see Richie's helmet cam of the gameplay. There's some really good clips in there, some good bits. So I do want you guys to hang around to see that. So if you need to, you know, cancel dinner plans, leave the kids starving, whatever, this gameplay will be worth it. I absolutely promise. For you guys that don't get to watch it this evening, it will go live on Friday, just to let you guys know. So we rolled through those games. I think they were pretty much undisturbed outside of the incident that you had and the incident that I then had post your friendly fire. I've got a marshal with me. He was just lingering around, and every now and then they were checking in on players. So what this meant is that I was behind a bit of cover. We've got a marshal that's tucked into the cover as well. He's not giving my position away, but they were just eyeballing like players at particular times. Sometimes they were doing this to take photos for the site. So I know James had obviously been keen on getting some pictures for the site, but sometimes they were just watching players. I'm a huge fan of this. I think it's a really good thing for marshals to do, as long as they don't encroach on the players' game. They don't ruin the game, the players' game, like happened at Stanta with the marshal that was rubbing his dick against my back for about 2 hours because we'd been accused of cheating. But this marshal's just watching. So I'm lent out. put a couple of rounds down. There's a tan lid that's guys behind cover, but the top of the lid is like sticking up, but probably about that much. Anyway, I've got tracers on the MP7. I obviously run it like this with I think the same as you, Bitchy, the tracer unit on the front. Let me see this go on and off. So you can see the tracer unit going.
Yeah.
Put a couple of rounds out. They happen to be tracers, and this round's gone out. Clap this lid, ding, and it's gone straight up in the air, glowing. And the marshal's like leaning out. We're both waiting for him to call hit because it was a pretty cool shot. Nothing. So I've gone clack, 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 clack. I think another 1 or 2 of the rounds have come off the lid again. Nothing. So I could see the marshal's face, like, because it was such a long shot and it was like over the top of this little slim bit of cover and whatever. He's on the radio. I could see his hand gripping the radio as if like to be like, fuck. He's gone, don't worry, mate. I'll go down and check it out. At this point, obviously knew he was there. So I was like, I said, mate, don't go mad. It's one of them things. The players then creeped and put his face round the corner of the cover and took about 2 or 3 rounds to the face. And I thought, well, the marshal's going to let him go now because the lad was doing this. No, mate, the marshal stuffed his radio in this little like vest pocket and literally started hoofing up the sight to have a go at the guy. He pulled me aside afterwards. He was like, no, we've had issues all morning with like a particular group of players not taking hits, doing this, doing that. And these weren't coming from us. These were coming from other players. So, you know, I think things like that, not only for players like myself, where, you know, if you do get those sorts of shots, they're so good. They're so like elevating that you get these wicked shots on people and they call it. But when they don't call it, it's a bit like, not only is it annoying for just the game ethics, but for you, you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, like that was a well good shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Marshall weren't having a bit of it. He went up there, mate, like lightning. So one thing I must say, like the marshals were on it, and speaking to James throughout the day, I know you had a good couple of gasses with him, Richie. They're not fucking about. They're really not fucking about. And I like.
How many people did he say he's permanently banned from that site? Is it 5 or 9?
5.
5. So in the 2 weeks they've been open, they permanently, and this is permanently banned, perma-ban, banned 5 people for life. For various things, you know, but it just goes to prove, like he says, you know, first time you get pulled to one side, you get a verbal warning. Second warning, you get pulled out of game and get told to sort of, you know, calm the fuck down. Third, that's it, you're off, like lifetime ban, done. So, and it's good, you know, and I'm glad, unlike so many sites out there that bend to the site favourites and they bend the rules because they don't want to lose the custom.
James, don't give a shit.
Don't, mate. Like, do you know what? I think he will end up with a real good core, a good core group of players there. I think, whether that's skirmishers, whether that's Milsim players, whatever, you know. I think it would just be a good core group of players with a good ethos, you know. So yeah, but I'm sorry, I was just reading through some of the comments. Like Winks had a good one. I don't know if it was said before in the chat, but like,
stop it! Don't want to hear from him. I don't know.
Like alternate armbands. So like one colour's on the left arm, the other colour's on the right arm. So even if you can't see the colour, you straight away know. So I've never seen that before. Yeah, it's a good idea. That good idea. Clearly didn't come from Winks because he's Scottish. So
he definitely didn't. I was on the phone. He had me laughing so much I choked on my own spit. Chloe put up a good point. She just said, you know, they went up, her and Bulldozer and that, from looking at the stories the day after, and they said we went after you guys. They brought that up in the safety brief, those specific points. You know, again, those types of things. We just want the engagement from the marshals when they're there, because they are there to kind of police the event. Now, Richie, I've got how do you want to approach this? Do you want to show them the footage and then talk through it after? Because this is the next set of games, or do you want to talk through what we did after and then show the footage? That is totally up to you.
No, fuck it, just roll it, mate. Let's go. Let me grab a beer because I want to watch this as well.
Oh yeah, Richie hasn't seen the whole video yet. I edited it.
No.
What we'll do is we are going to show you the footage again. This is going to be a bit of a premiere of the footage. Everyone, give you all a quick minute to go and grab a quick drink, throw me some thumbs up when you're in, just to allow, because this is about 16 minutes. It's definitely worth a watch. We're all going to watch it together. Probably go on mute. So quickly go and get a drink. As soon as you guys are back, when you guys are ready to rock and roll, drop some emojis in the chat and we'll fire this up.
Yeah, let's go.
Questions while we're doing that, then we'll do it. Tim,
so I think...
go on, mate. Sorry, go on.
I was just saying, I think one of the lads in here was asking about the tracer unit. I don't know if the camo guys are still in here or not, but I'm pretty sure this is the Angry Gun MP7 suppressor. It is an absolutely wicked bit of kit. It's got the trades on it, it's got the markings on it, no wobble at all. One downside, it does have like an automatic shut off to maintain your batteries, which is a bit of a shame, because if you're playing quite a few games, or like you go back in between games, bomb up, and you don't hit the power button again before you go out, which I did forget to do, obviously it doesn't work. But yeah, lovely bit of kit. I'm not sure what one Tim's running, whether he's running the same or not.
The X-Cortec XT501 Mark II. It's the LED strobe one. I know a lot of people banged on about this when it first came out. I've been running this thing for donkey's years. I've had it for probably 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, because
it's absolutely belting.
I just thought it's got nice little trades on it, mate.
Yeah, it's nice. It's probably about, I don't know, an extra third the length of my one. This is pretty stubby. And just to stop that green light on the back, the only frustrating thing about it is there's a green light under here, and it just flashes every now and then. So if you're running this at night when you've got your nods on, you do see it, which is why I just cover it with a lovely little cover there from Tack Belts. Thank you, Mr. Tack Belts, for supplying me with my cover. Okay, is everyone back? Are we ready to go? Because I am hyped. I will enjoy putting this footage together. It's super fun, and we're ready to go. Right, hopefully everyone's back. Let's go. Richie, at any point you want me to pause it so we can talk about anything, let me know. I'll pause it, okay?
Okay, mate.
Yeah, there's literally maybe 1 or 2 just seem to be surrounding.
Tim's so small it fits under a table.
I do, yeah.
Have you got these throwable pies, mate?
I'll fall on that table.
I don't know if there's anyone there. I'll throw one of these. I'm going to that back barricade.
Mate, how nice does that Huey look on that MP7? Wow.
See if everyone knows this noise.
Look at the guys. Ooh, I don't like it.
Goes into a random room. I just don't get that. Even the players in there be like, this isn't regen, mate.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Only just.
I just want to stop that there, right? I was further down the corridor and I saw the bang go in, and you hear it go off. Obviously, it's hitting the decibel meter, so it sounds quite a bit like it bangs behind the thing. And I'm like, is he gonna fucking take that? Like, it's the first thing that comes to my mind. I'm like,
anyone?
Pause. I can see you leaning out. We both know there's someone there. I'm like, are you gonna, like, what's going on here? Like, it's just
they just get real quiet.
Yeah, and then he throws your bang back.
Yeah.
Is it going back?
Cheers, dude.
Go down, coming through.
And there goes the player that I killed earlier that's just hidden in a room for 10 minutes. What the fuck is that about?
But it moves the cover as he's dead.
Yeah. Which I was happy with because I spent a fair bit of time.
Yeah.
Super nice.
Hawking the kill, Tim. Cunt.
You get one, bang that corner, mate.
It didn't go off anyway. I know.
Nearly. Those MP7s just sound so good, don't they? So good.
They do. I love how this guy's like chosen to stand on a cupboard door. Like, bang goes in. Bang goes off, but you don't hear anything. So I'm like, no, not having that. One more.
Next.
That primer noise of FPG6. Straight in.
Yeah.
So just to explain what's happened now, because the captions are quite quick.
Yeah.
We've cleared all the way down the corridor. There's a comms room here that we're meant to defend, but we can't stay in the comms room. We need to be outside of it. So Richie pushed through the comms room as I continued down the corridor. We've put some bangs in to clear people at the end of the corridor, and off the end of the corridor is some stairs, and the stairs go down, and that's their regen area. What we were told is not to open and close any doors because it would stop the flow of the play. And that guy who passed me a second ago went down, tucked into a room. I threw the bang down. It killed the guys at the end of the corridor. And what they've done is in their kind of huff, right? They've gone out the doors and slammed the doors closed. So what the player is doing right now that's further down the corridor is calling the marshal down because the doors have been closed. Just to give some context of what's happening. This is why the marshal comes down here serious.
Sorry. Yeah. The back again, yeah? I'm coming! That's yours?
One of these guys.
That's yours? Be careful because you will get shot. Be careful.
Wow. So I'm just going to pause it here because Richie hasn't seen this yet. But I know that this pissed Richie off. So I just want to address it from my side, and then Richie, if you're cool to jump in. I completely understand what this player's doing. I get it because I've been there myself, right? I know that there's a guy in front of me and I've rushed for the contact. Most of you guys in here, I know Winks is going to fucking go apeshit about this. But the guy could have used that wall to his advantage, right? This is how I think. He is, shooting right there. So he spun round. So he's left anyway. So he could have used the edge of that wall for cover and probably clipped you as you're in the open and this other player. But he chose to step out into the open, right?
Yeah.
In that slow-mo bit before, you hit off 4 rounds. Whack, 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 whack. Now, the player continues to play. As you can see here, and I put this photo up for all you guys that were looking for the BB, it is just in line with his sling. So if you look where his wrist is and you come down, Just in the sort of centre mass, you can see this white dot. Now, Richie's camera on his head is 720p at 30 frames. So I managed to find one BB engaging. I would imagine that he was hit, bearing in mind this is, what, less than 15, probably 10 feet away from one another. He was probably hit more. But the player just continues on to play, which you'll see the Martian intervene in a sec. But one, the player could have done this slightly more intelligently, but I get why he rushed, and I understand it. It's the fact of how far he continues on after this that bugged me when I was editing the footage last night. Richie, I know you haven't seen this yet. So Richie's seeing this for the first time, and this is his camera, this is his engagement. I know this pissed you off.
Yeah, because you know what, mate? Like, obviously, so I've got a guy to my left, right? Bearing in mind, all he's got is a pistol, which is a weak fucking move anyway. But you know, you do you. So if you look at the sort of 11 o'clock position, you've got that blue doorway. So at some point in the video, I think I go towards that, and there's like a window, right? And I see the two guys there. That's when we start engaging. So I think he's either going to hold back and wait for me to push forward, or like you, mate, I thought he was going to switch shoulders. And because I was in the middle of the corridor, so all he had to do was switch shoulders and like pie that corner, mate, and he would have had me banged to rights, but he didn't. Why he did, I don't know. But anyway, so I know he's there, he knows I'm there, right? So it really is just a matter of who puts rounds down first. Now we all know, we've all been there, mate. When you're that close, okay, you're probably both going to get on the trigger within a millisecond of each other, right? Yeah. So at that point it doesn't matter, because when the BBs are in flight, you're going to hit each other within a matter of like 0.5 of a second. At which point it's a 50-50, yeah? So I've gone 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, by the time I got to my fourth one, I felt one hit me sort of here, on my sort of left lower, in my little chubby bit, right? But that's on my fourth shot. Now, if you want to be, if you want to be an absolute arsehole, you turn around and go, well, I hit you first, so I don't have to take that. But you don't, right? You just don't. Come on, when it's that close and it's that negligible, you just say 50-50, done. So I've called it, and then he's literally just cracked on and just stood there in his stance. I'm like, I think you see my hand go, mate, no. He just pushes on, and it's just like, and obviously you'll see in a minute, the marshal is super quick to jump on that, So
for everyone watching, I know the numbers have jumped because I presume people are talking about what's about to happen and whatever, but just going to let this play through again. Really keen to hear everyone's feedback in the comments. So let me know what you think here. Now,
do you believe in the 50-50 engagement, in the fact that you both take it, or you really sort of like,
fuck you, Richie, I'll press on.
Yeah, fuck that grey-haired guy.
Right, so I'm just going to play this through again. This is prior to that engagement, so we're just going to watch it through.
That's yours. Be careful, because you will get shot.
So this is that window that Richie peeks in.
Be careful.
Hey, can you pause that 1 second?
Whereabouts?
So did you? Obviously, I've never noticed this before. I think you pointed out. So the guy with the pistol, like, he literally starts taking rounds and just fucks off into the doorway. Goes, no, I don't want none of that.
He does, yeah. He does, yeah. So
it leads me to it. I literally leads me to it.
But people's flinch reactions are, if you haven't played a lot of Airsoft, you see someone come out and your instant thing is to be like, fuck, I'm going to get hurt. So I think that's his just natural sort of flinch mechanism. Do I agree with it? Is it cool? No, but that's what he does. I think he sees a body and his natural reaction is like, shit, this
run
is
away, run away.
Yeah, what? So as soon as you see the outer silhouette come, he seems to disappear.
Be careful.
No, he's gone. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then again, you can see the BB then there. Watch it hit the sling.
Oh, Mark. Sorry, you're going to get an awful control. Oh, he did? Yeah, he did. My bad. Can I go my quick?
Headshots only now, Tim. Headshots only.
This clip here is the bit that Richie mentioned earlier when he said that he had found a group of players and the players had sort of said to Richie, look, we're sort of trapped here and we can't move forward. Their thing is that they're boxed in by a big group of players. And this is the clip that, if you guys were watching earlier, Richie spoke about. This is pretty cool. I wanted to cut this out and not show you it because I was slightly pissed off by it. But it is just typical Richie.
The MP7, mate, sounds so good.
So Richie's in the dark here. You might not be able to see it, but this bottom lower 2/3, that's the front of his gun. That's just how dark some parts of the site are. So we'll crack on with this.
Sorry,
Mate.
Sorry. At least I apologise. It's more than I normally do.
Yeah. More power. Sounds so good. Oh, mate. So what had happened here is the guys had continually tried to push this staircase and not got very far. Obviously, you can see the angles here, which is quite nice. You can see the guy actually now pie in the corner. Winks is going to go mad because his leg's sticking out. And obviously, you should always try and keep your hips and your legs behind the cover and just lean your body out. The whole body's out here. So this is one for you, Winks. I'm sure that you're going to message me about this later. But you can see the amount of body that's being revealed. And then obviously for me, it's literally gun right side. Richie jumps to the action here. And actually, I think Richie clocks this guy, although we're both putting rounds down. The other one.
Take that.
Sounds so good.
Well done, mate. Well done.
Cheers. So what? Oh shit! Are you fucking? Sorry, bro.
Guys, I'm just going to come down.
I'm flagged from a player that is in front of Rich, like in between us. He's cut through the door on the left-hand side. He throws a bang down towards my feet. I'd been holding this position probably for about 15 minutes and slaughtered. Everyone's going to go, of course you're going to say that. You're on a live stream. You're from the Heresy group. There, right? But literally, had been defending that.
It was a naughty angle. Yeah.
One of the main entrances that we attacked up. So we managed to get up this way in a previous game. And I'd managed to sort of defend it pretty much polo that for a fair amount of time. Obviously, Richie went back, cleared the other hallway, and then managed to get back to me in the time that I was still defending it. And this guy just rolls out, doesn't even look, goes, boom, just. Everyone knows I can have a tiny little bit of a moan or be a little bit salty.
But again, mate, like the fact that the indicator is you're facing the same way as him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and
surely
also,
at some point you go, and your armband's facing him as well. So.
Yeah, my armband is. I am. Well, anyone that's in the chat and that knows me, you can put a little fire in. There was Stuart Leader, Tim loses shit, never.
Sorry, pal.
Guys, coming down.
It was the hand.
I was not happy. So I go down, pick up the grenades. Obviously, at this point, pretty much flat out of grenades. Put them down, send the guys, and I'm not trying to disrupt this fire. And obviously, the corridor's like 4 foot wide. If that 3, they're so narrow that I'm trying not to stop Richie from being able to put the rounds down, stop people from coming up. I'm also trying to get back to regen. This is a really smart move as well. So That guy's doing nothing. This guy's about to clear a room with his own players in it. They're all pointing their pistols at the door, but as you'll see in the set, there's one of our players in the door. So
Yeah, cool.
they're all pointing their pistol at their own player.
Yeah.
Yeah, down at the end, mate, down here. At the end.
This is the guy
Mate, you want about gold? It's there, on the feet.
who's talking to the enemy players at this point.
Thank you. Sorry, mate.
Have you got anyone in this room?
This side, don't it? Yeah.
Have you got anyone in this room?
No.
And then gets hit
I'll
straight
get my
away.
plate on the thing. Dead, I'm getting that.
This is such a good move. I love the 2 extra rounds. I also don't understand how the pyro didn't get him, because that is a closed corridor at the end. So again, as the game goes on, it gets a bit.
I don't know how far that pyro went. I don't know. You know, it might have gone short.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. All right, fair. But it's still 8 to 10 rounds on someone sub 20 feet.
Yeah.
You know, it just feels again like this is beginning to progress.
Like, mate, I don't know about that guy, but you know that close, mate. After the first 2, I'm not interested.
Yeah. Where's this shot? Here it is.
Good try, mate. Okay.
Mate, so from the point that guy comes out to when you hit him, when you look at it on the frames, it's 2. So what's it? 30 frames a second. So it's about 8 frames, 6 frames, which is about 0.2 of a second from the guy revealing his arm to you hitting him.
Where's Robson with his shot timer?
Okay.
Fumble.
All right. Oh, hit. Look, elbow. Just the elbow. So crazy.
That MP7, mate, was. Mate, those bangs, like literally, unless it landed in that doorway, mate, all you had to was stuck in that cover, and that. Do you know what I mean? You was golden.
Well, the other thing, just about that, is that we chose not to use impacts at that distance because I think you have to throw them too far, from my opinion. We chose use to fizzy pyro, as Richie was throwing earlier, or we were using timed, where Richie's really low balling them, or we were using FBG 6s. These guys are trying to throw impacts from the back of the corridor up to where Richie is. And as you can see and hear at this point, they've thrown loads and loads and loads, but they're falling short because you're underarming them, and obviously they don't want to take the piss. So I kind of agree with what they've done, but this guy kills himself here to come and get his pyro because he's thrown it all, because he's trying to throw an impact further than he should. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if he'd have slid down an FBG 6, he'd thrown down some fizzy pyro or a time, he probably would have got you. But they were trying to, and we had an incident earlier on in the day. Come through a doorway and Richie's behind a bit of cover, and an impact missed his head by probably less than a foot, and it was head height. Again,
when I say missed my head by a foot, it's not here or here. It was here. It was above my head. It went above my head.
Yeah,
that's why it missed me. So there was. I mean, there were some guys who, you know, like Jim was just saying, who were underarming, and like I say, yes, they weren't getting the kills because they were underarming it correctly, but then you choose a different pyro. But there were some guys that were just taking the piss with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was off.
Shot right in the face.
He literally with that second yellow and black marker is just there.
No worries, bro. Oh, is it? Dead man. Where's that, buddy?
Yeah, send message. Same place as yours,
Dead
mate, same
man.
place. Kill.
I love that he killed his own player with that thunder nut grenade thing.
Yeah, it's one of those like spinny one that spins out all the BBs.
Yeah, killed his own player.
No kill.
Yeah, look how short it is.
Yeah.
It's on the yellow markers.
Dead man. Sorry.
Here comes
Got
the
about
bang
it's the
again.
only way we can fucking compete with you boys. It's just me and him down
Literally,
there.
mate, you're so close, though, if that's any consolation.
I'm not going to give you yours back. It's not fair.
You fucker.
Richie, can you get banged to that corner?
Stand by. That's a negative, mate.
I started taking rounds. I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that.
Nah, not going down there. So this is another one of those things. Richie knows that at this point, that if he goes for some pyro, that I'm going to move up. So he's got his back turned, haven't communicated at all. It's just one of those things that he knows where we're going to go. So at this point, Richie knows that he can put his gun down, go for pyro, and the fact that I'm going to probably go back to the same cover to be able to catch the guys at the end to stop anyone advancing. So this is like one of those weird clicky parts of the video. I was like, hold on a minute, how the fuck did he know I was going to do that? He's got his back to me the whole time, and then only catches me as I push right up. Clearly, and Richie then moves up as the guy runs out from cover.
Timing, mate. Absolute timing.
Really good timing.
Oh, really?
Quick deploy.
Here goes another one.
So good.
Hello?
Dead.
Dead.
How quick he's back, look. Done.
I was like, I went to come forward with you. I was like, oh, my gun.
No, it's the way you go, oh, that's nice.
Oh, I found it.
At this point, it goes super quiet, right?
Yeah,
We've had probably
really quiet.
5 to 8 players continually pushing this staircase. And I'm like, it's gone quiet. Can I hear shit behind me? Or is that, is that our players?
Mm.
I've got a bang in my hand. I'm like, do I just post this? Yeah, I'm beginning to think, what the fuck? Like, it's really quiet.
But again, like corridors like this, mate, with that amount of cover, like you said, it just makes such a difference having that variable, that mix of pyro, like fizzy pyro, impact, timed,
Start hearing contact here behind. We've got a mid stairway that leads to the comms room. So this is the room that Rich is going into now, is the comms room that we're defending. You can't camp this room, so that's the whole idea of this. Is we're defending the corridor. You can hear the rounds coming in, people doing trapped. love this.
Mate, considering I've not used the MP7 in about a year and a half, mate, the mag changes felt super clean, to be fair.
Yeah.
I thought they'd be like really clunky and like just fumbling shit everywhere, but yeah, it felt good.
I think this is a nice little move as well that most people would see that goes unnoticed. You check, you see that I'm still covering the stairway. I've moved into one of the rooms. You can't get a clear enough angle with enough spread.
Yeah.
Through the doorway, like the angle's too tight. You come back, you check the cover, you check the cover in front, and then you know that there's enemies to the left. It's just like a smart move that people, when I was watching the video, I was like, okay, that's clever. Go back to traditional hand, off the left hand. You can see the players through the doorway now. And there he goes. He's hit, he runs off. And the geezer's done his 3 shots and he's back to off to Burger King.
He's off to get his golden crown.
That's it, yeah.
Oh, Winks. Winks has done it. Winks has just coined a new phrase, mate. It's going to stick.
Red? Yep, fine. Yep.
They behave.
I know that voice. All right.
Come on, baby.
So. Tin?
Knowing that that's cleared, push back down. This is, you know, we've held it the longest now throughout the whole day. All right.
Yeah, you?
Yeah.
All right? Yeah, you.
Mate, look at the sweat pissing off my head.
I know. Shiny, shiny, shiny.
I was glossy, mate, at that point.
But mate, considering how it was, like, this is so quiet, isn't it? Like we were expecting like 5, 6, 7 players to be like stacking up.
I'll be really honest. I think that they'd hit that wall of attrition, right? You know, they're going back up and down. They really are facing quite a negative sort of emotion every time they get to the top, because it's not like they're continuing to creep forward. You know, that whole skull creeping thing where it's an inch at a time, but over periods of time, because you've got bodies reinforcing, you end up inch crawling forward. What I think they've done is been clapped off, not continue to infill behind, and then that was it. Do you know what I mean? So at this point, that is the entrance to their spawn. No one's come in. Index was called, and we're taking the comms room. So just check, no one there. So I'm just going to stop the video, and I'm open to comments, feedback, you know, chat. Thank you everyone also for checking this out. This will go live on Friday, which means you can watch it, you know, in full scale, in full view. But
you also get a nice little sneak preview, right? To from what everyone else is going to see. You're going to get it like a couple of days early.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, you guys that are interested in Echelon, this is going to give you a really kind of clear view of what to expect. You know, if you're on the 3rd floor, the warehouse is another good place to fight. But if you're on the 3rd floor, it's tight, it's dirty. You
Very
need
tight.
to, you know, you can't advance any further than that. You know, you're really meant to be fighting in those areas. So if you are attacking those areas, Richie, how would you advise someone to go about fucking getting rid of me and you out of a corridor? Like, what would your strategy be?
So there's 3 stairwells from what I remember, right? There's 3.
Why are you doing this? I'm going to get a beer. So tell
me. So I mean, we found that, you know, you would almost send like, I know it sounds a bit sort of gay and a bit skirmish, but you'd send like almost like a diversion force. So you'd get guys throwing loads of pyro, just even if you're not putting rounds on target, loads of ricochets, you know, just suppressing rounds like on a stairwell to get guys thinking there's a 7, 8, 9, 10 people about to, you know, storm that staircase. Meanwhile, you know, they're going to push everyone to that staircase, so you've got another 2 to attack. So that's when you send your best guys up that. And I mean, that's not how we did it. I mean, we just the way the spawns worked, you had to spawn 4 at a time. You had 4 players dead at the spawn, then you could go in. Other than that, you had to wait for your 4. But we literally just you know, try to push, but like Tim said, just keep the pressure on, keep going. You know, as soon as you're dead, got your 4, bang, straight back up the stairs. no mucking about. You know, if that wasn't working, right, let's try another staircase. Just none of this. You know, there were so many players that were just like Tim said, get disheartened, get that like, oh, we're not getting anywhere. I'll keep getting shot. I'm just going to sort of stand on the staircase and like see if I can wait for someone to come to me. You know, you're meant to be attacking. You know, we saw so much of that on the day that people were just happy to sit back and, you know, just be very lethargic in their gameplay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, you know, for me, I think Echelon's definitely a place to go.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the site. A massive thank you to James. He was really accommodating. He took all the feedback on. Hopefully those guys will watch this video at some point. I think, you know, it was a really fun site. I think for people that are visiting the site, Chloe, keen to hear your feedback. Bulldozer, all you guys that ended up rolling down.
Yes.
Hopefully Jack went as well. Jack, if you're in the chat or if you're with Chloe, you know, keen to hear your thoughts here. But I would be really considerate of what you take. You know, this is not dressing to look Gucci. This is dressing for an occasion. This is dressing for an event. And this is really tailoring your loadout for an event. You've seen how much pyro was used. So I would think about that. I'd also think about the platform. As Richie was saying, Richie was using his MP7 like this. So he was using it in this kind of format. So his suppressor is slightly longer than mine, but realistically, this is, you know, really down at like, I don't know, like sub PTW size. It's really as small as you can get on a sub factor with having the larger ammo count. I run mine on 2 out. So again, I'm pretty much like this, but again, it's such a short platform and it's so agile and nimble. If you're thinking about running down there with, you know, a 13, 14, 16, I would advise against it. I would consider how you do your loadout and I would tailor it for that environment. If you're a lad that runs an AVS with fucking 10 152s and 50 mags and pouches full of socks because you haven't got shit to put in them, I would bin it all off. I'd really consider going there as slick as possible. Yeah. And consider that when you go down. Do a little bit of pre-thinking. You know, if you have got those extra pouches, fill in with the and
definitely. Yeah, I mean, we didn't know what the site was going to be like, right? We had no idea what it was going to look like inside, how tight it was going to be. But you know, we've both played CQB sites before. We played enough of them to know that what you've just said is bang on the money. You know, if it doesn't fire a BB or go bang, you don't need it. Yeah. You absolutely don't need it. Do you know what? Like I said to you on my Instagram post, you know, I wore skinny jeans, night trainers, t-shirt, and my K5. You know, I mean, yes, I had my 152, but it was tucked in up the front. You know, nice and sort of low profile. You know, I weren't going there to look good or to like try and like fucking flex with my 2 152s and my KDU and this and that. You know, I had nothing. I had 4 mags up front. I had my SFDI on my left-hand side. And that was it. That was literally it. And then my belt kit. So, you know, it really was about, you know, being as slick as possible, getting tight spaces. You know, like if you are like we found ourselves tucked against the door frame where you got like a wardrobe here, you know, I think one point, Tim, at the end of that corridor, you can't quite see it, but I managed to tuck in. Was you there when I tucked in behind the wardrobe?
Yeah.
And like literally, I had my MP7. I think it was like this, right? So obviously, I've got the stock in like that, and I was like this. So I'm literally looking down the red dot, but that was it, mate. Because it was so compact, and no matter where I looked, that was me, mate. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, obviously, you know, we all play airsoft to flex a little bit, right? We really do. But yeah, CQB is not the one. If you're going out on a skirmish field, loads of open space is fine. But yeah.
I've got the loadouts up just on the screen now.
Nice.
Again, we did have the lids on with the nods. We didn't know how dark it was going to be. You know, we did know that the back of the saw was fairly dark. We were hoping obviously to get them down, but obviously not. It didn't happen. But as you can see, it's like very, very slick. You know, me and Richard both fairly similar in loadout, but I like the slides with absolutely nothing on. Richard would have some bits on the sides, but minimal. And if you look at the rest of the kit, the way the belt's loaded out, you know, they are very similar. Yeah, we're both running pistols. I must admit, I did use my pistol a fair bit that day. Just when I'd magged out, the MP7 mags are not, 120s, 140s. So, you can blitz through them pretty quick. But again, the belt kit's really minimal. There's not pouches and bits everywhere. Richie's dangler was for the reset of the bangs. Mine, I was using the upper top pouch. Outside of comms, there was no back panels, no fucking side panels, dangly bits, leg hangers, whatever, right? It was a real clean setup from us both.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, I think in that dangler, all I had was BBs, speed loader, spare 209s, and spare 9mm, and my reloading tool for the BFG.
Yeah.
But that was it. Obviously that plate carrier, I do run side plates and I do run front and rear plates. But they're tucked in. They're just plates. I've got nothing hanging out off externally. Like I say, other than that SFDI, which is on my 11 o'clock position on my body, sort of up front, sort of here, but on the waist. That was it, mate. Yeah, it was super clean. And with those MP7 mags, although they're quite chunky, they still sit quite flat, don't they, on the rig? They're not too bad at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, Echelon was definitely a win. I think as the weather begins to change and you get the guys that want to go and hide inside, I think that's going to be a very busy site. I think they're going to have to manage that well. I'll put my cards on the table. The only thing that I did have an issue with on the day, for me personally, was the communication with the marshals. I know James was going to address it straight away, but some of the rules were different in the game briefing than actually in the game. This is me being super anal, and there was some miscommunications, and that led to one of the games being a bit fucked.
Yeah.
That's being probably a little bit harsh, but at the same time, we're here to review the site. I'm not here to be friends with James. So
yeah, and again, the site's been open 2 weeks, so I think they're still, they're finding their feet. They're weeding out some of the teething problems, but absolutely, mate, there were some issues on the day. There definitely was, but have we had worse? 1,000%.
A million times of sites that have been running for 10 years.
Yeah, and for me, mate, like that marshal stepping in on both mine occasion and yours to deal with that sort of what is possibly what could have been cheating was that's worth its weight in gold, because so many sites we go to, marshals are either have a ulterior motive, because they either know the guy or they're local, or they're like, I don't want to piss him off because he'll want his money back and we'll lose money. There was none of that. They just didn't give a fuck. If you was in the wrong, you was in the wrong. That's it.
Yeah, I love that. And James was asking for feedback from all players, not just from us, throughout the whole day. And I think, it's a new site. I really hope they settle in, and I really do trust in the fact that James has got his hand around it. We did speak to him about what stuff they've got coming up, and they were talking to us about how we can do some stuff together in the future. And I'm excited by that. I think, for me, it's the right time of year to get outside, have some fun while we can, enjoy this short summer. But I think as winter rolls round, to go into a place that's nice and dry, that is, sort of covered, nice safe zone, that you could cut about for the day and really still have a good burnout. The free floors are nice and diverse. I think it's going to be a very busy site, and I hope that the marshals and James stick to the way that they have been up to this point, because I think if they do, like you said, Richie, and you were bang on the money, they're going to end up with a really good clientele down there of players that are there for the right reasons. And I think the players that aren't won't stay.
No, absolutely. But again, I like the fact that they do, multiple days. I think it's like Wednesdays. I think they're doing Wednesday nights. I think it's Friday nights. They're doing Saturdays and Sundays. I really love that, because obviously for me, Sunday was a no-go. But, the Saturday was... was an absolute winner, on the cards. James, ruckus inside Debenhams. I mean, who knows, right?
I've heard crazier suggestions, that's for sure.
Much crazier,
So, mate, all in all, Echelon for both of us, I think was a win. It was exciting.
Huge thumbs up.
And it was a big thumbs up from both of us. I think as soon as they find their feet, that's going to be a very, very popular site in the southeast. If any of you guys want to go and try it, go hang out down there. definitely go and see James, have a gas with him. He's a really, really good guy. He's got his heart's in the right place, but at the same time, he's got some bollocks as well. So I don't expect to go down there and take the piss out of someone and take the advantage of a new site. He won't have it.
No.
He really won't have it. And that for me is exciting. We've seen site owners on a power trip for sure. And we've also seen site owners that have got their favourites and all those sorts of things. And James ain't running it like that. So that's awesome.
No. And again, you know, let's face it, right? Obviously, those that used to go to the mall will know that their games were absolutely atrocious. Their games were atrocious. Their rules were atrocious. Their marshals were even worse. And, you know, they used to get booked up like weekend upon weekend, and people would pay silly money. I think it was like 50 quid in the end, wasn't it? Like 55 quid for a day. Whereas, you know, this, you know, the marshals are better. You know, like I say, although James, you know, the guy who runs the site, you know, it's big boy rules. You know, turn up, don't fuck about, you'll get them fine. Other than that, like you said, mate, you just won't take any shit. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing these guys get booked up. Looking forward to seeing them getting busy. And who knows, mate? Yeah, Ruckus, Fanta Black indoors. Who knows?
Who knows? Christmas.
Christmas. Fistmas.
Fistmas. Okay. So that was Saturday. Sunday, I decided to do the double and get out and have a bit of a tear up. I must admit, I come back a little bit sore.
You did the double.
Do the double. I've got a bigger gap in the middle. Yeah, and I thought, you know what? I got into bed and thought, you know what? I'll put the alarm on for like 5:30. See how I feel when I get up to get my shit together. Because also, like, I got in 8, went to bed pretty much. So got up. I was like, do you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to go. I wanted to go and see the Task Force Bravo lads. I got a lot of time for both of them. And, you know, I think that set an expectation. I messaged him. I was like, yeah, do you know what? I'll try and bounce up. I bounced up. It was a fully booked out day. I saw Tiny. As soon as I saw him, he was terribly scared of me. So he just let me straight through, to be honest. The scale of me compared to him, he was obviously terrified.
I mean, he knew which, you know, which way his bread was buttered, right?
He knew to stay out the way, or clearly I'd have told him otherwise. Next time I see him, he's literally going to pick me up by my head and throw me like a tent peg.
Like one of those claw machines, just pick you up like.
But like, it was great seeing Tiny and going up to Splatoon. I think they have a really fantastic site and they're an even better setup. I do bang hard about Splatoon. And I know it does get busy. They definitely get a load of rentals. You're going to go there with a huge mixed bag, which makes me sound quite hypocritical as to what I was saying earlier about James's event, where he definitely had a mixed group of individuals. You know that you're going to get that with Splatoon. So you know you're going to get a big group of rentals there. You're going to get vast capabilities. You're going to get everyone from your, you know, £150 gun, hoodies, tracksuit out just to play for the weekend, to get out from underneath their parents' feet, all the way through to your $2.5-3 grand gun, absolutely head to toe in drip. Doesn't even know what end of the gun to use. So you have got every variable in between. But I kind of come to accept that with Splatoon. I absolutely, like, being a COD fan, I love the site. You know, the containers, the cars, the 3 lanes, you know, you've got up the middle, left or right. Any of you guys that have played, you know, the old school CODs or even the new, you know, some of the newer maps, that there's just that traditional approach to the game, and it's cordoned in, and you can either go high or low and take advantage. And I fucking love the place. I love it. It's so much fun. So I caught up with the two Bravo lads. We decided to just go out. We jumped on comms together, hit the first game. Like usual, we got to the front of the pack. As soon as they called game on over the radio, we sprinted to the container stairs, up the container stairs, went through the containers. The other team had got to us about 50-50 and just went through it like butter. By this point, the MP7 felt like it was an extra finger. I don't know what that is. But, you know, like me and you were talking about.
I'd love to see that. Just MP7s as fingers. Imagine that.
It's like, do you know what? It just felt so attached and so nimble and after using it for the whole day before, and I don't think I've ever had 2 complete days behind this. Mate, it was just fluid, straight up, straight through, cut through a load of people. It was brilliant. It was really, really good fun. Now, the weather said it was going to be shit. The rain held out to about 3-4 o'clock. It was nice and warm. The sun was a bit wet from the day before, so the dust was nice and down, but the site is so much fun. If any of you guys want to just go and have an absolute blitz up, Splatoon is just the place to go. It's so good.
Like you said, like we said before, mate, because it's all like got that that gravel down. It doesn't matter if it's rained. Like it's not muddy, it's not soggy. You know, you can bowl around there like no problem. You're not gonna get your not gonna get your Yeezys covered in mud.
No, I mean, I was like, they said that the first game's going to be a spinners game. Everyone's played it before. We kind of know the drill with it. So we're straight up the middle, get the spinner spun, make sure that's done, and then we get to the top level and use that as a vantage point. I think and cut to the chase, I had a wicked day. I wish the fuck I was running a camera. It's made me completely rethink the whole gameplay thing. Like, as you know, shredded some people in a way that was just epic, sliding on my knees across the wet container floor and clapping people, pyro everywhere. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. If any of you guys want to go and check that out, the lads from Task Force Bravo put a video up where you can see some of the action. I know he's been struggling to get his stuff off the camera, so there will probably be some more videos from Task Force Bravo, but there's a good little segment in there of us having a tear up with some lads. And it was super, super good fun. We come back at lunchtime and we'd sort of passed the same players over and over again. So the players, when we talk in percentages again, we've gone up to like 50%. The other team have come up to like 50%, and that's like the middle of the containers. As we've died and been killed on the attrition that you get like at the front, where you're going to die and you have to go back to regen, we've gone out back like 40%, 30%, 20%. You can see regen, like you're like, fuck it, I'm going to get back to regen. And you see players there like plinking shots in. Now, bearing in mind, Splatoon's super small. It's like the size of a football pitch. And I'm like, fuck, like, how entertaining is that for you? And Richie, I know me and you spoke about this before. Anyway, so I died and look, oh, dead again, are you, mate? And I'm like, yeah, you've been there for 20 fucking minutes.
The same spot.
In exactly the same spot, lobbing shots at 70, 80 meters. Like, yeah, you might get the odd kill, but how entertaining is that for you? For me, it isn't. So
like lobbing the shot in, like putting 5 mags.
Like a fucking speed loader, MP7 mags. I'm on the comms trying to push my PTT. Yeah, boys, hold it, boys. I'll be there in a minute. Trying to bomb the MP7 mags. I run, grab my shit, pulling my jeans up, running back, like to try and get back on top with the boys. Do you know what? Like, they were just on it, them lads. They were so good. Anyway, so come past same player again. I'm like, fucking hell, mate. Like, you're just static. Like, all this cool shit you've got, just static. And like, it wasn't just me that noticed it, but a lot of people noticed it that were actually coming back and forth to the front. Me and Max done it a couple of times. And I was talking to Max at the front, and I was like, mate, that must be so fucking boring. Like, just, I get it. You know, you've got a TM set up or a VFC set up, something, right? You know, some sort of Gucci platform, but just stood there like thinking, just, you know, lobbing these shots with no dynamism at all. For me, I just thought, fuck that. Like,
imagine the celebration when they do finally get a kill after you're going through 6 mags. Like, it just goes, and they catch someone sleeping, like walk along like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, walk along. Yes, fucking the guy and tell the wife or girlfriend, fucking clap this guy. I tell you, you should have seen it, mate. He was literally, he was looking at the floor, like messing around with his kit. I really showed him a lesson. Told him I did.
Like, all of the little group that I was with just couldn't get it. And anyway, so we press through. The marshal goes up into the middle container. We have an absolute tear up in there, really tight. You know, our literal arms are battered to shit with bruises and cut. As you can see, like, some of the bruises are wicked. You know, it was really tight, really dirty. And I think, do you know what? There was a couple of face marks. There was a lad called Ben, who I'm probably never going to see again, but I'm slightly in love with him.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ben. But this lad, face masker, rental for the day, was literally up there, had the gun, held it fairly decently, and was at the front for the whole time we were up there. And I turned around to him, I was like, what's your name? He's like, Ben. I was like, fucking, do you know what, mate? Fair fucking play. There's geezers behind you that have got probably 4 or 5 grams worth of kit that are, 30, 40 meters on, say, a 50 meter to the middle engagement, sat there on a fucking corner putting rounds down. Do you know what? Like, I kind of wanted to turn around to him and be like, I fucking wish you had that drip head to toe because you'd be bodying.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I will go through the comments, but I just, it does jar me a little bit. I think to myself, fucking hell, all that cool kit is, even at a site like Splatoon, where you can go and absolutely take advantage of the fact that it's a mixed bag, to just sit at the fucking back doing nothing. I'm like,
because Splatoon is such a mixed bag, mate.
Hurting people.
Yeah. Because I say Splatoon is such a mixed bag, mate. If you want to tear through a container, cut some tight corners and some angles, absolutely. Do you know what I mean? But also, if you want to creep through the woods and lay in there in the leaf suit, like you've done it before, you totally can do that. So I don't, there's no reason why you shouldn't get stuck in at Splatoon. No reason, other than you just can't be bothered, really. GGC, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, GGC, 100%. And
yeah,
it just, I don't know, mate. I come away from it thinking, fuck me, what a waste. When you see some of the lads that I've rolled with and some of the lads that I know that have got minimal kit, but the fucking great attitude. Attitude.
Yeah.
They haven't got a 6'5", 800-pound gun. They're running around with cheaper kit, but at the same time, they're up the front and they're younger and still willing to get in those, this distance engagements.
Yeah.
It is going to hurt. It is about getting the rounds off. Like you had with that lad, you're going to trade, you're going to have the 50-50s. I just think, so fuck me, I'd love to have just go, can I have all of that kit? Thank you very much. I'm going to put it on someone with a really good attitude.
Yeah. Someone's going to make it count. Yeah. I know what you mean.
It's surprising, mate. But outside of that, I absolutely love Splatoon. I advise people to get down there. It's so much fun, for 30 quid to just go down there and have a tear up. Food's good. Facilities are fantastic. It's all undercover. There's container rooms everywhere for you to put your kit in. You get really looked after. There's a good length lunch. But at the same time, the games lengths are better. They've lengthened the games out. The site's super fun. It's just so many positives for me. It's like an hour and a bit away. Mate, I loved Sunday. I come back buzzing. The whole weekend of Airsoft. It was super good fun.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Robson spent more time stitch counting than actually shooting people and getting their skills up.
Yeah, true.
I will. Oh, Max. Maybe that is MX7. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that might not be it, Max. Right. Let's go through some of the comments, Richie, and then we'll get the fuck out of here. Do you want to pick some out?
I still like Winx's one, mate. MP Heaven. We should make some slaps with that.
MP Heaven.
MP Heaven, absolutely.
Mondo Muti. What's that, Mondo? I think I can see
comes into the belter.
Always keep the pressure in, unless you're trying to stop her from bleeding out, and then let it bleed out. Tim was scared of the rain and went back to the safe zone. This is a fact.
The thing is, if he gets wet, he can't shrink anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, I just get angrier. I just go red. I really feel bad for that Marshall. Yeah, and Marshall came in, mate. Anyway, he walked across the bridge and got shot straight in the dick. And he's like, oh, fucking hell. He's got so he's holding him. So he's like, oh, fucking hell. He's like, Marshall coming out. Marshall coming out. Same place exactly again. He's like, it's really funny. We also, me and Hads went flying into this container. And I was like, mate, can you check that window? And he just leant out about an inch and about fucking 200 rounds coming, like hitting the... Ting, 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 ting. He's like, Matt, I was pissing myself. He was like, why are you laughing? That's not funny.
Timmy's shit at sorting out comms.
Mate, that was meant to be you boys. Bad comms. Then again, I wanted to reply so bad, saying still on 0 kills. Yeah, fact.
Yep.
Yeah. Just again, it was one of them things. Tim is always angry. This is also another fact.
Yeah.
Slack fuck. Go back through the comments. So guys, hopefully you got a good idea of Echelon. Again, both would highly recommend it. The gameplay will drop on Friday.
Yeah.
We got loads of other shit coming in the pipeline. We've got more reviews coming. We've got some other goodies on the way. Some stuff happening in August. There's going to be some more stuff happening in September.
Yeah.
We got a lot on the go, mate.
We've got a lot on the go. It's just trying to slowly sort of get around to it and then drip feed it out. Right? It's we're getting around to it. We're getting through it. So hopefully it's a nice steady flow onto the channel.
It is indeed. Right, Richie, it is 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Keen for us to
absolutely howling. Right, guys, girls, and animals and vegetables, thank you for tuning in. Again, hope you like the gameplay footage. A massive thank you to Tim for putting that together for us. A lovely edit, that, mate. And that will, like I say, that will go up Friday. So your lucky people all got to see it nice and early. But if you missed anything or you want to see it, catch it again, that'll be on. That's dropping on Friday. I nearly dropped a clang and then I nearly let something slip. Careful. Vanta. Yes, Vanta is coming.
Vanta is coming.
Vanta is coming. Bit like winter, but Vanta is coming.
Vanta is coming.
Vanta is coming.
3.0. What's the news? Jimmy Davison. I will enlighten you. The next ruckus will be at night.
Yep. As requested.
As requested, it's going to be a night event. So ruckus 3.0 during the day will be happening soon-ish, probably the tail end of this year at this point.
Yeah.
But the next ruckus will be at night. So just everyone that's watching this right now, if you are prepping your night stuff, don't feel like you need nods, a white light, or even a switched on player. The quarry is really well lit, ambient lit. So there are certain areas of the quarry that even I've walked around, no nods, nothing, no torch, nothing, and just bimped around it. So the next ruckus event will be at night. Yeah.
So just keep your eyes peeled for a date for that, because that is still in the planning stage, but that will be coming very well. Like I say, soonish. Obviously, we we're going to wait for the right time, but just keep your eyes peeled for a date.
At the same time, if you do have a very shiny new set of nods, as I know someone has, and you want to get underneath them, ruckus is a perfect opportunity for you to get down and have a little tear up.
I also know someone who hasn't.
If you are a white light warrior and you want to get down with your white light, strobe up some nods players and catch some people up wearing a headband and a pair of pants, as you Spartan boys love to do, then please feel free to do that as well. But the next one will be at night. We will announce it on Facebook. We will announce it on Insta. But our primary place for you guys to check out what we're doing is YouTube. So the community page on YouTube. So if you go to our YouTube channel, hit the community page, you'll see loads of shit on there that's happening. We will post it there first. So if you're viewing that, you're likely to get your tickets first. It will probably be tickets this time, Richie.
Yeah, I think so, mate. Because obviously we don't want to go bananas with numbers. Although we want a good tear up, we want a tactical tear up. Yeah. So check it there. There'll probably be limited numbers. It'll probably go up in there for a couple of days, and then we'll put it onto the other socials. So make sure you're subscribed and checking us out. Thanks, Richie, for your evening. I know you're prepping to go away, mate. So all good, man. All good.
Thank you.
I do it for the people.
Do it for the peeps. If any of you guys want to follow up with anything, you can drop me and Richie a message on the channel and comment on any of the content, and we will get back to you. Other than that, you can reach us on Insta. Obviously, welcome back, Richie.
Yes.
To Instagram land.
I only returned to Insta to sell some t-shirts. That was it.
Yeah, I've seen that. The merch is obviously live on our store. You can go and check that out on there. So you can go to store.heresygroup.com, which is now a new domain that you can check out, or just go on Teespring.
My favourite is still the Net Gators. Love them.
Yeah, we spent $370 today on our own stuff.
Merch. How does that work? Do we not get it free?
No. Yeah, no, we don't. We don't.
We can get almost $3,000 worth of optics free, but we can't get our own t-shirts.
I know. Well, thank you, Teespring. And also, being an American company, we have to pay for our shipping individually. So our shipping comes to like $120. So yes, we are finally getting our own merch. We always prioritize all the other customers. So
Winks did buy one of everything. I think I saw that.
Winks did. So thank you, Winks, for your ever loving support. Don't worry, me and you will have a little tipple in a couple of weeks.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Ruckus 3.0 will be dark. We will also do other events, training. We've got some stuff happening with Attack Sense. We've got other events happening down the quarry that will be invite only. And we will also be doing some more deathmatch style stuff at the upcoming Ruckuses. We know that Winks, our reigning champion, needs to be dethroned. Matt from Envy was second in that. I know he was very upset about it. So he's in a dungeon doing a Rocky-like training sequence as we speak. We also have a couple of other people that missed out on the deathmatch that should have probably played. And some other people external to the Ruckus events that want to come down and give it a go. So yes, lots and lots of stuff coming soon.
Nice. Right. Guys and girls.
Thank you for your time, Richie. And
no worries, mate.
Catch up with you soon. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you all in a bit.
Peace out, my folk.
Peace, dude.
Whew.